Okay, let's go to your phone calls. Jack, thanks for holding on the topic of Jade Helm. It was hundreds of articles a day. Now it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of articles a day. Every nightly news channel, you name it, saying that we say martial law is coming. Well, it's already here. What do you make of this PSYOP? How do you think it's going?
Oh, it's definitely here, man. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You bet, brother.
All right, yeah. I have a few things. Okay, Boston bombing, that was the first test of martial law. Then you go on to Ferguson, and then, you got Philly, Baltimore, all these protests that are turning into riots, probably outside provocateurs.
Oh, they're totally foaming about George Soros. It's on record.
Right. I've seen them, yeah, on TV or on YouTube. But I'm thinking Jade Helm, these soldiers, maybe they're, those soldiers that we've seen training are probably the ones that are stationed at all these riots right now. That's my thought.
A lot of them are, but this is to get special ops ready to take over local government and to identify, even the special ops are compartmentalized. They don't know why they're there. This is to identify which cities and counties are going to work with them. Just like Katrina was there to see, can we actually order gun confiscation without resistance? It's all laboratory testing. The globalists are scientists, first and foremost. It's a scientific dictatorship. They call themselves technocrats. And so you have to understand, everything is a psych test. Everything is a test.
Like, look into it 10,000 different ways to truly try to understand what the hell they're thinking, But yeah, I just seen, a pattern that it's all together. Jade Helm, it's probably the same people, and I wanted to end it on a good note. They got 50% of the fluoride out of the water. That's awesome. But why not just take it all out? Because it's bad,
Well, they can't admit they're wrong. The panels have actually recommended get rid of all of it and to stop using the toxic form. If they were putting calcium fluoride in the water, I'd be against it because it sets the precedent to put drugs in the water, but it would actually be good for you at low levels. It's hydrofluorosilicic acid that's been electrically charged and is deadly poison. I mean, one drop will kill you deader than a hammer. It's almost as deadly as cyanide. It eats through concrete. It eats through steel. It's almost as bad as sulfuric acid. I mean, it is over the top bad. But yes, they're banning it as a pesticide. I mean, because most of these EPA scientists don't like having brain damaged kids. I mean, they're scientists. They know it's bad. The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other toxic members of the fluoride family are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the American people. So why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple. Dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We may not have been able to get fluoride out of the water supply yet, but we can help to get it out of our bodies. I am extremely excited to announce the exclusive InfoWars Life Fluoride Shield formulation, fusing 6 of the best documented ingredients from around the world to help the body remove not just toxic fluoride residues from the body, but a whole host of toxic substances. Let's take a stand against the globalist by blocking their poisons with Fluoride Shield. I use Fluoride Shield every day. Secure your Fluoride Shield and other pioneering formulations at InfoWarsLife.com today. Let's start cleansing our bodies now and support the InfoWar at the same time. That's InfoWarsLife.com. It's bigger than just Jade Helm, isn't it, Luke? I mean, it's about media psyop. It's about deception. We know the military and police are training to fight the American people. They admit it's their main mission. It's treasonous. We have good people in the government warning us about it, but they don't want to have a national debate about this or the NSA spying or the open borders or Obamacare. They want to just stonewall us, but it's not working. And all the armored vehicles in the world aren't going to save the globalists when the economy collapses, Luke. What do you think's going on?
I believe that as a 10-year Navy veteran, I've been watching this come around for a while now. In our local area, we've been watching AH-64 Apache helicopters flying at 300 feet, SH-60 Navy equivalent to a Black Hawk flying, B-2 Osprey. There's a ramp-up of military activity that's beyond what is normal, and it has been normal since 10 years now. It's been escalating more and more. These exercises like Jade Helm and things, yeah, they're there to, familiarize make the populace asleep. making it seem like it's normal, and it's not normal. We shouldn't be here. This is against the Constitution, against Posse Comitatus. A lot of the veterans out here also believe, we're not asleep, but we're waiting. It's getting to the point where it's becoming, you're watching a slow takeover, slow stripping of all of our rights. It's one of those deals that we're watching the MRAPs coming in here to Southern Virginia, and they're coming in, and people don't want to talk about it, and you try to wake some up. Some are awake to the paradigm and have that paradigm shift. Mostly are military or ex-military, but the vast populace is still asleep at the wheel when it comes to this, Alex.
Well, that's why they say veterans are the number one enemy, because they know what's happening. They know how to read these manuals. They know the public's being lied to. But you're absolutely right. The escalation of training, the preparation, it's just, when I said 100 times bigger than what it was 20 years ago, it is. I mean, 20 years ago, it was very secretive. They would tell the public, no, you didn't see troops on the street. You didn't see black helicopters. They started it like that very smartly under Clinton, to then say kooks believe it even exists. So see, first, it was a litmus test to say there are no helicopters, there are no men scaling into the park in the middle of the night, there are no police checkpoints, not in America, there isn't any NSA spying. Crazy people that wear tinfoil hats say that. We'd be like, no, it's a congressional record. Shut up, schizophrenic. And then now they just roll it all out and go, no, you're crazy if you think it's for you. And we're like, here's their manual. Here they are admitting it scores of times. Why are you so racist? So they're just building up. So when they launch it, you're going to be a kook if you think gun confiscation is actually happening when it's happening. I mean, it's just amazing. There was denial for weeks about the Katrina gun confiscation. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying, part of the problem is many of the veterans out here, and even active duty military, the Marines, Navy, they primarily know what's going on. A lot of them, I've talked to them often, and they've been like, no, we're not going to go ahead, and we're not going to follow this. So a lot of the military, they're not saying anything, or when they're asked, like myself, I was asked if I was had to take a written test and a survey is what they called it, to see whether or not I'd fire against American citizens if ordered to, or if there was a natural disaster, civil unrest, anything of that nature, and if we would open fire on the public. And it's like, this is unconstitutional. It's absurd. I'm not taking this test. And that's when I knew I needed to make the decision whether to stay inside or get out of the military. And it was one of those deals that a lot of us are stepping away from it because we see what's coming, and it is a tyranny, and it is here. When you have these small arms disbandment acts already there, people pushing in, they're coming for the weapons. They're coming for America. They're coming for all of us. You don't think they're building FEMA camps and they're not going to put us in them? They did it to people in World War II, the Japanese. We've already done it. America, wake up. You think just because we did it one time, we're not going to do it again? The system and everything is slowly coming unwound. I know the globalists are nervous about it, but I'm worried that they're going to do something like push ISIS into America, do false flag attacks, and then a snap exercise like Jade Helm is going to go live.
That is certainly what they're doing. And they can have this and have it go live. Then if they don't want to, they don't. But if we put pressure on it, they may back off. Again, we're not just covering Jade Helm because ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, MSNBC, all the last few days have done pieces attacking Infowars.com, attacking yours truly, Alex Jones, attacking Governor Greg Abbott, lying about us, saying that we say imminent martial law, that the military is going to come kill everybody. I mean, it's just beyond yellow journalism, but it's why the old-time newspapers are collapsing. It's why MSNBC and CNN are done. Because you are a bunch of arrogant narcissists. Notice how it's Cuomo's brother at CNN and just all these weird political people who want to be rock stars and show off to mommy at the carcass of the dinosaur media? Like ticks or something climbing around the dead body? Maggots? That carcass is only going to rot so long, so just keep discrediting yourselves. Everybody knows we're in a police state. Everybody knows Obama's announced executive taxation increases. Everybody knows Obamacare is a giant screw job. Everybody knows. And so just keep attacking me. Just keep doing it. You're pathetic. And I read the comments. I even screenshotted some of them when I was looking online on my phone last night in bed. Some of these screenshots, and I'm going back to your calls and the other news. Go to my photos here. Kept intending to do this, but forgot. Oh, I messed up. I don't even know how to keep track of these cameras anymore. Here it is. Here's some of the comments. Truly disgusting. Now I'm trying to find it. See, the show is completely unscripted. So I'm having trouble finding it. I didn't plan to even go to this. But there's comments in there like the redneck scum, filth, paranoid, crazy Texans. They're so insane. I'm ashamed to even live in this state. I want to get out of here. And then comments like, yeah, I'm a Republican, but I don't like Abbott now. Obviously staged comments, most of them. Yeah, those evil Texans without a state income tax. Everybody wants to move here. What the hell, we're so stupid. Yeah, those dumb Texans that want to keep the Second Amendment and have a really low crime rate compared to other states. Man, they're bad. Yeah, those evil Texans. Why? They don't want to be part of the United Nations, and they want to have America be energy independent. How? They're just horrible people. That's why everybody all over the world says Texans are so polite and so nice. Except some people have moved here who aren't Texans. We're not even Texas anymore. Oh, that's shameful. How horrible that out of the whole country being overrun by military training and checkpoints and unconstitutional garbage. Why, how dare Texas, when Obama opened all the borders, the new governor did what he could to seal the border and put state police down there to stop felons. I mean, imagine that he would do such a thing. And that when they shut down the power plants, almost doubling Texas power prices, he filed lawsuits and injunctions to turn some of the plants back on. Man, that's bad. Those filthy redneck scum with the fastest growing state in the country and the most jobs and some low taxes. Man, those Texans are bad. Well, I heard they've got hospitality. I heard they're polite and open doors for ladies. There's nothing worse than those people. Everybody knows it. What a bunch of traitors. But again, they just think ridiculing people. Look at you. I want to do a piece where I go back and find all the news articles. We've got some hanging up around here. And we're like, crazy people think there's secret military drills and helicopters. Crazy people think there's military drills. What'd you see, crazy? Well, the troops came out of the sky and blew up that building, and the building's burned down. They're like, you really think you saw that? I had the Daily Show back when it first started in the late 90s attacking me. Comedy Central would like have shows. I think it was that show, yeah. I mean, they would attack me a bunch. I just can't remember all the times. And they'd be like, he claims there's military drills. I got another one I'm going to tell you. And then now it's like, he didn't like the military drills. See, we told you it was going on, so you denied it. And now that it's all admitted, you go, oh, we say it's permanent martial law. They're coming to put us in FEMA camps and kill us and take our guns this summer. And I didn't say that, though you'll probably take that clip out of context and play it on the news saying I just said that. I said that's not what I'm saying. I said that's where it leads, though. Because the globalists don't ever want to stand up, fight politically or economically or physically. They want to take over with martial law, start disappearing citizens as they're already doing, confiscating guns of veterans all over the country and other groups, and just ease us into the cook pot. Kind of like Bugs Bunny sitting there while the pygmies are going around him, and they're cutting up stuff, putting it in the big bowl, and he goes, oh, thank you for the bath, mister. I can't do a very good Bugs Bunny imitation of that Brooklyn accent. He goes, my, it's getting a little hot in here. And then they slap on the top of the cauldron. And they're just putting us in the cauldron. They're chopping up the carrots. We have their recipe. You look over and read the recipe. It's for rabbit. It's for patriot. And I say, can I see that cookbook, please? And the whole cookbook's for patriots. Patriots of the enemy, gun owners, Christians, how are you going to round them up, the internment camps, how to process Social Security numbers. All this is on Army.mil. How you're going to take our guns, how the preachers work for you, the InfraGard, the citizen spies. You go talk to the cops. Yeah, we're trying to take on gun owners and veterans. We're about to have a war with them. Just You're reading a whole cookbook on patriots, and we're already in the cook pot with carrots and potatoes floating around, our butts burning, and you're going, let me just put some handcuffs on you and put this lid on. We're like, you know what? I don't want to be rude for dinner, but I'm going to get out of the pot. They're like, shut up, terrorist, stay in the pot. No, I'm going to get my leg out here. They're like, shut up, racist, don't get out of the pot. But they don't want to use force yet because then they got to admit they're trying to eat us. So they're like, I told you, get back in there. I'm going to call you a sexist, homophobe, racist, redneck. Get back in the pot. Get back in the pot. Just 6 months ago, I'd say, there's a war by the Saudis to drive down oil prices to bankrupt Texas oil production, and when they're done with that, they're going to jack the price up to the highest levels. Oh, shut up, conspiracy theorists. They had news articles. Now he claims a Saudi conspiracy. Because a lot of this media works for those guys. You know, like they got thousands of princes worth billions apiece. So one prince is worth like $200 billion or something, you know. And so that's who they work for. And, of course, now it's totally admitted the Saudis admit they did it to bankrupt us, our allies. This is the sick games they play all day. I'm getting out of the pot. I'm done. I don't believe a word comes out of the New World Order. I don't trust anything they say. And it's so healthy that people don't trust the feds. It's so healthy they know they've taken the military over. It's so healthy people don't believe a word out of their mouth. It's so healthy people are jumping at shadows and the Walmart stuff, because even if that's not what's happening there, overall it is happening, and people are getting wise and not being a bunch of trusting idiots. Wild in Wisconsin. Go ahead, you're on the air worldwide. Thanks for holding.
What's up, Doc? You know how the elite globalist likes numerology and naming things. With Jade Helm, I was looking into it, and with Jade, there is an interesting Chinese saying, which is the Jade maker does not leave his mark.
Very interesting. The military's big on acronyms, and if you spell out Jade and Helm, it's all sorts of, cryptic things. It goes from bad to worse. I'm still going to look in at the end of the show to Memorandum 7277 in Public Law 109. I can't remember from memory, but I believe one of the drills back then was called Jade Helm, carried out on how to suppress, I think it was a city in Georgia. So that's why people are so freaked out. But they call it Joint Assistance for Development and Execution along the homeland, eradication of local militias. That's what people are saying Jade Helm stands for. All I know is everything in the Army manuals is now directly written by the Southern Poverty Law Center and the ADL, two purely anti-freedom organizations. What do you think it is, sir?
Just like you said.
Well, give me further breakdown, because I've been ranting here and need to cool down. What do you think overall the PSYOP they're running?
I think when you get to the, when you're jackhammering the bedrock of the rabbit hole, yes, it is Satanism, but humanity as a whole, as a creature, has unfortunate fondness for the gritty and the darkness. It's part of it. And it's the price that is included with the deal we're given in this reality.
Wow, that's really deep. You're right. And then we deny that we're evil. Part of us is. We deny our human animalness. We deny our darker selves. And we're blind. I mean, I love how the media tries to deny the dark side of government and the dark side of power when it's been known throughout history. We've been denying our own dark side. That's why it's taken over. The devil's greatest trick was convincing the world he didn't exist.
Yes, and, even with how we were saying before, the sayings and how things are named, we've named the things 1,000 things. And calling it light and dark kind of attaches predisposition of meaning where...
Exactly. If something's light, then it must be good. But the Bible says Satan comes masquerading as an angel of light. Exactly. I'm sorry. I don't know where you were going, but I threw that in. Go ahead.
Go ahead. What I was going at is that I think, and you're a strong proponent of this, and some people call it the fifth element or quintessence or whatever, but we have to rely on our gut and our feelings because that transcends all the worldly Bravo Sierra.
That's right. The gut ties into the soul, and it'll tell you 100% right every time, but we don't want to follow it. But it's almost like you have two guts. It's like the angel and the devil on your shoulder. You've got the gut you know's good and cares about you that's always right, but then there's that other thing where it's like, don't listen to that. Don't listen. No, no, no. And he gives you all these excuses, but you still know what's right. What do you call that other thing?
I would say intelligence and heart. The intelligence is giving you the reason and the logic, while the heart's trying to ground you more to the spirituality. But once again, these are all just words. You know, they really, at the end of the day, mean nothing. What matters more is the lives, the living, the what we are doing here. And just from my point of view, and I'm nobody, white nobody, and from my point of view, it looks like if these globalists are so elitist, money makers putting money on the pedestal and success as their paragon or their golden idol, it seems to me that this system they built is very, very counterproductive to profits.
Well, that's a very high level of it is about money and temporal power and status, but not the very top levels of the pyramid. It's all about raw power over humanity playing God. And that's why it's so destructive and is counterproductive. They get people to sell out believing it's for prosperity, and it's a fraud in the end. God bless you. Appreciate your point. Really good points from Wild in Wisconsin. I'm going to go to Adam and Mary and Dean and Daryl here in a moment. These are the times that try people's souls. And the organized criminal takeover we're witnessing that's accelerating gets me hyped up. I mean, as I've said 1,000 times or more, that's a normal animal response. And we're not animals, but we're in animals' bodies. I mean, we have our animal side, but we are men, we are women, we are humans. But just even my bestial side wants to fight this tyranny. I mean, it recognizes it as death. And we are amongst the living now. I am not afraid of death. I've seen so many family members and friends and people die. The more of them die, there's almost this weird thought of nostalgia. Someday I'll be with them. There's almost a thought of peace in death. But I fear becoming weak, becoming old, and dying because then I can't defend my family, my friends, and others. I want to be strong for the tribe. I want to be strong for humanity. I want to create things and ideas that fight the fraud to make our people stronger, all of our people, to go forward together. And I try to be a good person, and it's hard. I can't imagine turning myself over to evil and using all the knowledge I have against people. I mean, just the thought of it makes me want to overturn this desk and start just breaking things. I mean, the fundamental bad will of wanting to screw people over makes me viciously angry at the control freaks. I'm sick of them. I know their tricks. I know every stinking thing about them. I want to get my hands around their throats. We're teaching them 2 + 2 = 10 or 5 or 8 to screw them up because we're the smart people. It's like, I'm a 41-year-old man. I could, hypothetically, trick a 2-year-old toddler to jump off a cliff. I'm smart. Yeah. How we treat the least of us, we treat the greatest of us. And I won't be part of it. But see, notice the social engineers get good moral people to give all our rights up and our money up to take care of the big masses of people in the name of being nice while they're busy sawing their legs off and giving them crutches. And then breeding a giant horde so that finally the small group left that's working will join the globalist and exterminate the mass, and then we'll all live happily ever after. That's not going to happen. And that's how they've sold the agenda. It's just like they tell the general public, we're going to reduce world population by half. And then more internal documents, 80%. Higher level, 90%. And you get up to the very highest level of PhDs, and it's like, The human is a disease itself. We will merge into the new super sapient technocrat with the machines and become gods. There will be a final battle between our intellects to decide who will become the new god of the universe. I mean, it's just delusional crazy town. And it's not going to happen. None of you will inherit the world or the universe. You're complete jokes. Humanity and creation is like a compound eye, to quote my dad. And that's how the universe, God, experiences this level of consciousness. We're not God, but we're made in the image. We are God experiencing the universe. Christ came down, the one, the only, as God, to be a man. Pretty heavy, even if it's fiction, which I don't think it is. Let's go ahead and talk to Mary in California. You're on the air. Welcome.
Thank you. God bless you, Alex. That last caller is just still a little lost.
Yeah, pretty scary. Pretty scary.
But we just have to keep praying for them. Well, I would like to call and let you know I have had 4 up close and personal. I'm now calling them Jade Helm, for lack of better reference, experiences. And I am nobody, but actually I just had kind of a revelation, and I think that's why I'm talking to you today. And I think I know why I'm being personally kind of followed. And so, but I'll just say that my youngest son woke me up about 5 years ago to you and the truth, and which led me to my full relationship with Jesus Christ.
Wonderful.
But God bless. So my husband and I were walking into Wells Fargo. We had just opened up a checking account there, and I had on my InfoWars cap on, and I had been buying all your informational.
Sure. And what happened, ma'am? We're almost out of time.
Okay. Oh, there's so many incidences that have happened to me. But Wells Fargo, actually, I could read her lips. The teller said, "Oh, here she comes. Now she's coming with an InfoWars hat on." And she had a police cop come from the back room and take a picture of me and my husband. We had to close it down our account.
Yeah, no, ma'am. What they're doing is they've hired InfraGard, millions, several million at least, who believe they're spies. So they're looking for the terrorists, which is the Patriots. And so they're there enjoying their new role for during the collapse to then, basically take people away. And so, yes, this stuff is going on. I would just laugh at them and, yeah, move your bank account and understand this is their attempt to have HUMET to intimidate everybody and freak everybody out while they deny it on the news. Yes, this is what it's part of.
I've had 3 more up-close incidences.
Well, you're in California, ma'am. They've taken that state. It's theirs.
I've had helicopters actually come, and I mean, if you have time, I can tell you what's happened. But I'm going to tell you that the second incident happened when I was going to talk with my dad, because I was just really wanting to inform my dad. I'm like looking up to my dad to save the world.
My name is Alex Jones. Most of you know me from my syndicated radio program and my documentary films, as well as InfoWars Nightly News. When I got on air 20 years ago, I had discovered the globalist program, their plan to take over the world, and my focus went from running 6 miles every other day, swimming 2-3 miles a couple times a week, and lifting weights, to focusing on fighting the globalist. I've gone from 279 pounds all the way down to 235 pounds, and the weight's going off even faster. And it wasn't just that my weight loss accelerated. My muscle mass increased. My stamina, my energy levels exploded. Super Male has the key concentrated natural compounds that my body needed to go to the next level. Today is the day to take the InfoWarsLife.com challenge and to secure your bottle of Super Male or Super Female Vitality. Check them out today at InfoWarsLife.com or give our crew a call at 888-253-3139.
On TV or on YouTube. But I'm thinking, Jade Helm, these soldiers, maybe they're, those soldiers that we've seen training are probably the ones that are stationed at all these riots right now. That's my thought.
A lot of them are, but this is to get special ops ready to take over local government and to identify, even the special ops are compartmentalized. They don't know why they're there. This is to identify which cities and counties are going to work with them. Just like Katrina was there to see, can we actually order gun confiscation without resistance? It's all laboratory testing. The globalists are scientists, first and foremost. It's a scientific dictatorship. They call themselves technocrats. And so you have to understand, everything is a psych test. Everything is a test.
Like, look into it 10,000 different ways to truly try to understand what the hell they're thinking, you know. But yeah, I just seen, you know, a pattern that it's all together.
Okay, let's go to your phone calls. Jack, thanks for holding on the topic of Jade Helm. It was hundreds of articles a day. Now it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of articles a day. Every nightly news channel, you name it, saying that we say martial law is coming. Well, it's already here. What do you make of this PSYOP? How do you think it's going?
Oh, it's definitely here, man. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You bet, brother.
All right, yeah. I have a few things. Okay, Boston bombing, that was the first test of martial law. Then you go on to Ferguson, and then, you know, you got Philly, Baltimore, all these protests that are turning into riots, probably outside provocateurs.
Oh, they're totally fomented by George Soros. It's on record.
Right. I've seen them, yeah.
It's bigger than just Jade Helm, isn't it, Luke? I mean, it's about media psyop. It's about deception. We know the military and police are training to fight the American people. They admit it's their main mission. It's treasonous. We have good people in the government warning us about it, but they don't want to have a national debate about this or the NSA spying or the open borders or Obamacare. They want to just stonewall us, but it's not working. And all the armored vehicles in the world aren't going to save the globalists when the economy collapses, Luke. What do you think's going on?
I believe that as a 10-year Navy veteran, you know, I've been watching this come around for a while now. In our local area, I've been watching AH-64 Apache helicopters flying at 300 feet, SH-60 Navy equivalent to a Black Hawk flying, B-2 Osprey. There's a ramp up of military activity that's beyond what is normal, and it has been normal since 10 years now. It's been escalating more and more.
The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other toxic members of the fluoride family are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the American people. So why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple. Dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We may not have been able to get fluoride out of the water supply yet, but we can help to get it out of our bodies. I am extremely excited to announce the exclusive InfoWars Life Fluoride Shield formulation, fusing 6 of the best documented ingredients from around the world to help the body remove not just toxic fluoride residues from the body, but a whole host of toxic substances. Let's take a stand against the globalist by blocking their poisons with Fluoride Shield. I use Fluoride Shield every day. Secure your Fluoride Shield and other pioneering formulations at InfoWarsLife.com today. Let's start cleansing our bodies now and support the info war at the same time. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
Jade Helm, it's probably the same people, and I wanted to end it on a good note. They got 50% of the fluoride out of the water. That's awesome. But why not just take it all out? Because it's bad, you know?
Well, they can't admit they're wrong. The panels have actually recommended get rid of all of it and to stop using the toxic form. If they were putting calcium fluoride in the water, I'd be against it because it sets the precedent to put drugs in the water, but it would actually be good for you at low levels. It's hydrofluorosilicic acid that's been electrically charged and is deadly poison. I mean, one drop will kill you deader than a hammer. It's almost as deadly as cyanide. It eats through concrete. It eats through steel. It's almost as bad as sulfuric acid. I mean, it is over the top bad. But yes, they're banning it as a pesticide. I mean, because most of these EPA scientists don't like having brain damaged kids. I mean, they're scientists. They know it's bad.